Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of TarotCelebritea with your boy Ducky. Today we're going to be reading some cards for Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. So first and foremost, I do want to apologize if my pronunciation is off. I don't mean to disrespect either of these talented, beautiful beings. And secondly, remember that these videos are for entertainment purposes. And why is that? That is because we do not have Wang Yibo nor Xiao Zhan here to confirm nor deny that what I'm seeing in the cards and how I'm interpreting the cards is resonating with them or is not resonating with them. That's not to say I'm not right or I'm not interpreting them correctly, but we just don't know for sure, right? So remember to take these videos with a grain of salt, and let's get started on their updated tarot reading for Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. So let's just start with their combined energy. As always, whenever we do these little readings for two people, let's see what their combined energy is like. We got the Three of Pentacles, immediately working well together. The Seven of Cups, wow, great start to their reading. And the Three of Cups, ooh, So, let's start with this first card that showed up, the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is all about people working well together, right? You can even see these two little figurines holding hands. And so this is all about two or different people coming together and playing to their strengths. So whenever they come together, they know each other's strengths. They know one of them has a set of blue wings, the other one has a set of beautiful brown wings, and they use this beautiful brown and blue combination. You know, brown and blue are very complementary. And so this is what happens with them. They are very complementary whenever they're together. They work well together because of this complementary aspect that they have. And because of that, they're able to have a lot of choices. They're able to pick from a lot of things. You know, whenever maybe whether they're working together or if they're just hanging out, regardless, because of their combined energy together, it just offers them a lot of opportunities to pick from a lot of different choices, to pick from a lot of different doors or go through a lot of different doors. But on the flip side, that also can cause a little bit of problems because sometimes having a lot of opportunities creates a little bit of an overindulgence of maybe partying or celebrating or going out. So the Three of Cups in reverse can talk about there's a little bit of too much celebration, maybe too much drinking, too much going out, just an overindulgence of something. So because this is all about celebrations. So because they complement each other very well, and they play to their strengths, they like to go out and have fun, and they have a lot of options to choose from. But sometimes they might do it a little bit too much, and maybe they will overindulge. And then that overindulgence can also, this card also can talk about, there's a little bit of like a promiscuity involved, where maybe one party is a little bit too giving, and the other party is maybe not reciprocating the same. So they just got to be careful of that, of maybe overindulging, or of maybe one person whenever they go out. This is just an example that I'm getting in my head, is just like if they're going out, maybe one of these two parties sometimes tends to pay more than the other person, and so there's that little bit of like maybe there's something isn't reciprocated enough. One person is maybe giving or offering a little bit too much, and the other party might not be as open to giving or offering. But overall, they complement each other very well, and they know who they are and who they are not, and they play to their strengths, which offers them a lot of opportunities and a lot of cups to choose from. So, all right, let's go ahead with Wang Yibo. When Wang Yibo thinks of Xiao Zhan, what comes to his mind? The strength card. Wow. All right. And the 10 of swords. Whoa. Quite a juxtaposition, quite an opposite there. All right, Xiao Zhan. When Xiao Zhan thinks of Wang Yibo, what comes to his mind? What does he feel? What does he think? Four of Cups. Ooh. And High Priestess. Okay, so let's start here with Wang Yibo's thoughts and feelings. When he thinks of Xiao Zhan, what comes to his mind? He thinks of the Strength card. Wang Yibo views... I'm getting the sense with the way that these cards came out. Remember that whether I speak in absolutes or not, we don't know for certain because they're not here, right? I'm just kind of going based off of what I'm seeing with the cards. When Wang Yibo thinks of Xiao Zhan, he thinks that Xiao Zhan is very strong and has surpassed a lot of maybe betrayal, a lot of hurt. Like, look at how heavy this card is. Like, oh, you know, this 10 of Swords is all about absolute betrayals, absolute feeling backstabbed, and it's even shown in this card with like this person who is prodded and poked in all sorts of different directions. So Wang Yibo knows that Xiao Zhan has been hurt a lot in the past, has been betrayed, especially by people that he respects and has cared for, and he's surpassed that. He has overcome that, and so Wang Yibo sees Xiao Zhan as very strong and independent and is able to just overcome practically anything, is just what I'm seeing. Like, he views Xiao Zhan as someone who can just surpass and rise above obstacles and challenges. So Xiao Zhan, when he thinks of Wang Yibo, Xiao Zhan sees Wang Yibo as someone who maybe sometimes struggles with being a little bit more of a pessimist. You know, maybe Xiao Zhan thinks that Wang Yibo can be a little bit. It's easy for him to get into a negative headspace and maybe get a little bit depressed, and stuff like that. But on the flip side, also, we got the High Priestess, where Xiao Zhan thinks that Wang Yibo is very intuitively connected with himself. He knows who he is not, and has a lot of just knowledge that stems from his intuition. You know, he just trusts himself a lot. Xiao Zhan sees that Wang Yibo just trusts himself. So sometimes when Wang Yibo feels down or depressed about a certain thing and is like, you know what, I don't really feel like doing that, I just don't feel good about it, it's because he's tapping into his intuition. He's tapping into his feelings. And so if Wang Yibo feels that something is not right with him, he's just not really going to do it. But also, because of that, sometimes it puts him in a little bit of a negative headspace, where sometimes he immediately thinks the worst in a situation or thinks bad about something based off of his feelings. And he trusts his feelings a lot, and Xiao Zhan sees that, but Xiao Zhan thinks that maybe sometimes he he bases too many of his decisions based off of his feelings and his intuition, which sometimes can cause him to go into a little bit of a negative headspace. So that's what I'm seeing. Let's get some advice for these two. Let's get some advice for Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's connection. The Emperor. Whoa. And the Empress in reverse. Wow. The Emperor and the Empress. What are the odds of that? Okay, let's get an oracle card as advice. Nacians. Oh, this is all about seeing the unseen. Wow. Okay, so this card is all about being able to see the unseen, right? Nacians, or however you pronounce this name, this person is a blind seer, you know, so he uses all of his other senses um, to make up for the lack of physical eyesight that he has, and so instead he uses his mind's eye, right? So the advice for these two, for Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, is to remember to continue being aware of what's not being said, what's not being told, seeing the unseen, you know, for them to really pay attention to what other people are not saying. When are they being quiet? When are they saying stuff? You know, really make note of these things, but stay in control with the Emperor card. You know, the Emperor is always in control, is kind of like a figure of authority or a power figure. So the advice for Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan is to continue being in power, staying in control of their connection. This is a very strong connection I see here, a strong connection of opposites, right? Um, and they work well together. They know their strengths. And it's funny that we got the Emperor here right side up, and then we got the Empress upside down, you know? So there is this, the advice for them is to continue being in control and playing to their opposites, playing to their strengths. Um, the Empress also in reverse can talk about, excuse me, being a little bit overprotective, and maybe having a little bit of like emotional blackmail. So the advice for them is to be careful to not be emotionally, or to emotionally blackmail one another, based off of like, oh, well, I paid yesterday's dinner and the drinks, so you got to pay this one, you know, like, so that's kind of the advice I'm seeing, is for them to be careful to not really start keeping count or tabs of the good deeds that one does for the other and vice versa. um and to be careful to be so overprotective, maybe overprotective of each other, and stuff like that. But there's a lot of goodness here, you know, with this Emperor. They are very well grounded and very well connected. They know who they are independently, and they know who they are together as a unit. Um, and for them to continue just being very transparent with each other, um, and just being more mindful of the little nuances, right? You know, just sometimes whenever you're friends with someone, you get to, your friend might not say something, but by that silence, they're saying a lot. But you might not be able to understand or gather or pick that up in the beginning, but little by little, when you get to know your friends, you get to know how they act whenever they're bothered, whenever they're okay, whenever they're happy, and so on and so forth. So that's the advice I'm seeing for them, is to just continue getting to know one another, being able to see the unseen, whether that's whenever like they're on a set or they're working together, for them to be able to understand each other just by those subtle little nuances, you know, and being able to pick that up and continue on, being in control of a situation. And yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for this reading. Let me know what you thought. I'm over here seeing on Google some little pictures of scenes that they've been a part of, which is cool. I don't know anything about this little show that they are a part of, or they have been a part of. But I really enjoyed reading these cards and doing an updated reading on them. It seems again that they play to their strengths. They play to each other's, to that union of opposites, right? So that's beautiful. And yeah, let me know if there's anything that you've heard or that resonated with what I picked up based off of the cards that showed up. I always love reading those types of comments because I'm like, whoa, you know. But anyway, remember to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and sexually. Love and respect yourselves and others, and stay hydrated, which is what I'm about to do because I'm about to go to the gym, y'all. And I need more water. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.